Hi everyone, my name is Matt Zebley and I'm one of the partners in the NBK hunting brand, and welcome to my man cave. If you don't know what NBK stands for or what we do, you can go to our YouTube channel or our Facebook group, NBK. Now, all this month I've been preparing for a 3D archery shoot at Bloomsburg in the Early Bird Expo show. And I'm really excited, but also really nervous because it's my first ever 3D shoot. And I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because most of the guys there are going to have compound bows with stabilizers and sights because it's an open class shoot. And here I am showing up with a cheaper traditional bow shooting instinctively. But it's going to be really good practice because I know that the next time that I take this out whitetail deer hunting, I'm going to make a good, clean, ethical shot. I've been making quite a few videos of how I've been shooting this bow and some practice tips, but I'm gonna break this bow down and the components and the arrow selection for beginners, those that are getting into traditional archery. So starting with the bow, I'm shooting a 60-inch, 45-pound draw Summit Recurve from Cabela's. Honestly, I don't even think they make this model anymore. But I really like it, and I shoot it well, and it's been really good to me out in the woods. I mainly picked it up for hunting because those tough Sullivan County swamps that I hunt, you have to sneak in there, and you might have to take some shots from your knees and things like that. But because it's a 60-inch bow, your string needs to be at least 4 inches shorter than your bow. So this is a 50-inch string. And I put this new string on about a month ago. Now, you want to be careful because you don't want to put your string on right before a tournament or a shoot. That string needs time to stretch, it needs time to break in. Because every time you shoot and you put it down, you go back to it the next day, your brace height's going to shrink a little bit. So I find that shooting it about 100 times or so gets you a nice break-in period. So once I put that string on, I put these black rabbit fur silencers on. And I got these from Amazon, nothing crazy. They're soft and they're sexy. But when you put these on, you want to put them on nice and tight. And when you wrap them, you want to wrap them in the direction of the twist of the string. Because when you tighten your string to increase your brace height, you are going to get a nice tight ball and it's not going to go anywhere. And I like nice tight balls on my bow. It really quiets the bow, takes the twang out of it, and it's really good for hunting, a lot more quiet. Moving on to the nocking point. So I do the tie-on method. Now I get some archer string or some thread and I tie it on and I cut it and burn the ends with a lighter. I don't use the brass clamp-on ones because when I draw back and I anchor on my cheek, it tends to cut my cheek. So nice thread there, and it looks nice and it's nice and clean. But I talked about brace height and I talked about nocking point, but let me show you an archer's square that you can use to measure your brace height. Now, a good brace height for recurve bows is anywhere from 7.5 to 8.5 inches. So you just measure the inside of your grip to your string, and I'm at 8.5 inches. So I'm at the max. I like the bow shoots good at a brace height of 8.5 and nice and tight, and it shoots fast. When you measure your nocking point, you use that same tool. You put it on the rail, and I like to knock a little bit higher, about 1/2 inch from zero, because I shoot 3 fingers under, and when you draw that bow back, that arrow kind of needs a little bit of wiggle room on that string. Moving on to the rail, the riser, and the arrow rest. Again, I went with the black rabbit fur. I like it. I like the look. I like the feel. But you want to be careful there too because it was really thick. And I use that arrow to sometimes aim. And that arrow kind of like you're looking down the barrel of a shotgun. And that arrow was getting buried in the fur, and it was kind of messing with my head. So I just trimmed it with some scissors and we're good to go. So that's the components of the bow and how I set it up and the measurements. But what I really want to talk about is arrow selection. You don't want to skip tuning your arrow to your bow. It's probably the most important part of all this. So I went with a 500 spine arrow, 29 inches with a 100 grain field point. That combination shoots really well out of this bow. And I got to this combination because you have to understand your draw length. So a good rule of thumb is your arrow should be 1 to 2 inches longer than your draw length. I got my draw length by having my wife measure my wingspan, and then I just went online, and a calculation will give you, okay, 27 inch draw length. So I ordered these arrows at 29 inches. So the one thing that you want to do once you get your arrows is you just want to shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot every day. Shoot every morning before you have your cup of coffee. Make notes of what you do at 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 plus yards. Make those notes so you're ready and you can hold at your aiming points every single time. Now, the key with shooting the arrows is to start at 20 yards, because that's going to give your arrow a chance to fly true and straight, and you can see what it's doing. Is it flexing too much? Is it knocking left? Is it knocking right? Is the arrow too weak? Is it too stiff? So at this combination, the arrow's sticking right in that target, right dead center. In case you were wondering, these are custom Black Eagle arrows that I ordered from Custom Kings Traditional Archery in Altoona, PA. They do an amazing job. Customer service was great. They cut it for you, they put the insert for you, and they knock it for you. So you're knocked and ready to rock. I put the link in the description in case you want to check out their site. The one last tip I want to give is what I like to do is shoot at night. And I'm not talking pitch black, but I'm talking at night when the sun's down, and you could put a spotlight on in your backyard, or you can just use the light of the moon. But shooting at night really helps me be a better archer, because you're using your instinct, right? And you're doing a better job at your aiming points and your feel for your bow, basically becoming one with your bow. So a good tip there is shoot at night and shoot as often as you can. I hope you enjoyed this video, and you're welcome back in my man cave at any time. Shoot straight.